small town girl, and this is a small beach city, and this is where we're at. But even here, it's beautiful. Look at how beautiful their cemetery is. It's just gorgeous. This is the kind of living I like. Small town. Everything is so close and convenient. This is a beautiful, beautiful cemetery. Look at how gorgeous it is. You know, cemeteries by us, they don't look like this. All they have are placards on the ground and nothing else. And the newer ones here are the same way. But this is an old graveyard, and you can look at all the beautiful headstones there's out here. These are just beautiful and prescient. I just can't believe how beautiful they are.
Okay, so I noticed that some of these tombstones or headstones say native of Switzerland. So is there a lot of people from Switzerland here in the beginning?
There's a large group of Swiss-Italian family that came over from Switzerland. And so, a couple members of a family would come over, and then more and more family members, and then more relatives, and more other people who knew the family and everything else moved into this particular area. So you've got a lot of Swiss-Italian families, and then you've got a lot of intermarrying of the families, and so you've got a lot of connection. And a lot of these names of individuals who still live, or still living, for instance, Madonna, for instance, or Negranti, Righetti, the Righetti family are still here, and they're still in this local area. So they'll still come in, put their flowers out, visit their family's graves and things. And so there's a lot of Swiss-Italian individuals.
So do they have businesses within the town in the area?
They do. So like Madonna's got a ranch, and they're actually related in a distant way to Alex Madonna from Madonna Inn in San Luis Obispo.
Yeah.
So they have some connection to that. There are Negrantis, Tognazzini's. They've got restaurants in Morro Bay, and then they've got their connections with Tognazzini. We've got people who have beverage service and everything else. So they've got all these little connections and everything else within the central coast of this area. So we've got a lot of different connections and a lot of individuals in here.
So do you know how did Cayucos come about? Do you know anything about that?
I don't know about the history of that one. I believe that this cemetery started in the 1800s.
Okay.
And the story is that it originally was not here. It was in Cayucos proper. Morro Bay never had a proper cemetery. So later on in the 1800s, early 1900s, they created this cemetery and brought everyone into this central location.
The surrounding communities here.
Correct.
Okay.
So we have pictures from early 1900s when there used to be a arch bridge right there, a single lane or 2-lane arch bridge.
Where would those photos be now?
We have one up in the office, but there is a history museum in Cayucos, and it's down in one of the surf shops down there, and they have upstairs, they have a little history museum. They've got a bunch of pictures and everything else.
We'll have to try to see if we can find it between today and tomorrow.
Yeah. So they've got a little bit of a history and everything else. So 1940s, they redid this, like they built the wall and a couple other different things, and they expanded the cemetery, because originally it just went up just past this loop right here, and that was it on the cemetery. And then they started to expand further up towards the office. It's up there at the top. But, we've got our older headstones. We've got Euler and Gillis up here. We've got some other headstones down here, mid-1800s.
Wow.
So we've got some very old headstones.
Yeah. That's what caught our attention, because we're just staying up the road. We rented a house, but when we drove by, we saw these beautiful headstones. We were like, oh, we've got to come and check these out.
Absolutely.
Believe it or not, we don't have anything like this by where we live. Really?
Yeah, we don't do it anymore.
I know.
Maybe in other places they still do stand-ups. You can still order stand-up headstones, which are these type of things. But we don't do them here anymore. They're all flat now.
That's how it is
most
where we are.
Yeah.
But this is the old cemetery.
And you could tell
a
there
lot
had
of
to be
families.
money here because look at how big and beautiful these headstones are.
Absolutely, and yeah, definitely look up Madonna's headstone there, the other one with the other angel over there. They're beautiful in the handiwork.
Yeah.
The handicraft on that thing is just absolutely spectacular. Actually, this was the cemetery that they used for the movie called The Monster of Piedras Blancas
Oh,
back
okay.
in the 50s, 50s or 60s. And they actually used this stretch. They were actually positioned up there on the left side here of the road, part of the cemetery, part of the film.
Oh, okay.
So this was the cemetery they used
That's
back
pretty
then.
neat.
So it's very, very cool.
Yeah,
Very,
well,
very
thank
cool.
you so much for taking the time
Absolutely.
and giving us a history lesson.
And
really
I hope you
enjoyed
don't
that.
mind we have you on video.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
I wanted to show your face for the voice.
There's more history in here that I've only been working here for a couple years, but Dale, who's the manager, has been here for 38 years, I believe. And so
Oh, okay.
Jason's been here for, I think, 16 years. There's a lot of history. I've got a lot of family in here. I've got a grandfather, great-grandfather that's buried right behind Salachi here, and a great-grandmother, it's my wife's great-grandmother. She's up there, and then the rest of her grandparents are up there, and then we've got distant cousins and relatives and everything else, and different connections. It's a very, very neat history. Very neat history. In fact, the founder of Morro Bay is up here on the right. What's his name?
Take it, I got a cough.
I cannot remember his name, but it's up here up on the right,
Uh-huh.
and he's supposedly the founder of Morro Bay and
Oh,
the
okay.
history of that. So
Okay, well,
Definitely
we'll have
look
to check
around.
it out. Yeah, we definitely
look
will.
around.
Okay, thank you so much.
Absolutely enjoy your
Okay,
time.
thank you.
Yeah, enjoy your trip.
Okay, I'm ready for you.
So we believe that the stand-up history for Cayucos is in the Antiques building on the east side of Ocean Avenue.
Okay.
Across from Good Clean Fun. It's downtown. So.
Are you hearing this all, Debbie? Thank you guys for all your help.
Absolutely.
Even though this is an old cemetery, you can still see fresh flowers out there from loved ones. It's such a beautiful, beautiful cemetery, isn't it? Love it. It's still quite large, as you can see. It goes up the hill where the newer part is. You can see Debbie in the far distance walking up the steps. I miss watching the birds do it, but the water pools up around some of these headstones and the birds fly in to take a little bath. My daughter saw it and was laughing about it. You can see a lot of people have lived a long time here and lived a full, happy life. This area has been settled for a very, very long time, as you can tell. Lots and lots of wonderful old headstones and head markers. We were surprised to see so many from the 1800s. This one was born 1890 and lived till 1975. Can you imagine the things she saw in her lifetime? Sorry, this one needs to be cleaned off, but isn't this a beautiful marker? The beautiful flowers in each corner, beautifully done and colored.
Well, if you were going to be in a graveyard, this is the one I would want to be in, overlooking the ocean. Isn't that pretty? And this is the lower level, so maybe you don't see as much of the ocean. You can see they're doing some construction. Like they're making a bridge. But the higher level, let me turn the camera around, is here. And they even get a better view. So here is the Cayucos Cemetery. Now this side does not have those giant headstones, but the view from here is very pretty. Wouldn't you agree?
Look at this wreath on the headstone. Oh, I said marker. Look at how beautifully everyone still has everyone thought about here. Look at all the flowers out here. And somebody even, let's see if I can find it knocked over, but it's a succulent plant to last. As you can see, it's a pretty big area. I think I might like being buried here, right next to the ocean. Oh my gosh, it's such a beautiful, beautiful place.
And here's another angle. And there is that beautiful view of the ocean, the Pacific Ocean. And you can see all of the headstones. There's Highway 1. The car's running on it. Beautiful. How peaceful. If they weren't working on that bridge, it'd be very peaceful here.
It's just so beautiful here. Just love it. So well maintained and kept up so beautifully.